welcome to my channel. This is Bouldercut here with my very first episode of the Sea of Thieves. And today I'm going to share with you a voyage that I embarked on about a week or so ago. And in this voyage I gathered and managed to sell my biggest haul yet. And it may seem like chump change to some of you, but for a noob like me, I was pretty pleased with the outcome. So stay a while and listen as I recount this bountiful voyage. After emptying some barrels from the outpost to fill my supplies, my journey began as I dropped my sails and turned south. I was heading to Discovery Ridge to take out an old pirate captain and his crew. The Order of Souls demanded his skull, and I was out to see that they got it. I did notice that there were a couple skeleton ships off in the distance, and I did have a thought to go and sink them just to see what I could get, but ultimately decided just to stay on course, and I kept on heading south. By the time I arrived, it was dark and a storm had rolled in, but I went ahead and dropped my anchor and began my search. I did find a skull on the beach and dropped it within harpoon range, then made my way deeper into the island. At this point, the storm was out to get me, and soon after I had found my prey. They turned out to be the armored skeletons, so my plan was to bunch them up, but lightning struck me again. Not once, but twice. After recovering from the dual lightning strike, I had the skeletons right where I wanted them. But when I pulled out my firebomb and threw it, they didn't catch on fire because it was raining, and I felt like an idiot. So I threw a few blunder bombs to save face and finished them off with Old Reliable. I used up my ammo when the next batch arrived, so I proceeded to cut them down with my blade. The skeleton captain emerged with the next batch, and I continued to cut them down with my sword until finally I'd come out victorious. I picked up his skull and started making my way back to the ship, but was ambushed by some ghosts along the way. After dealing with them, I went down to the beach where I snatched up another treasure chest, and then proceeded to load everything I had gathered up onto my ship. After loading everything into my ship, I set my sights on Plunder Valley, where my next target laid in wait. It ended up being the next island over, and the trip was pretty uneventful. I did run into a sunken ship, but it had already been plundered, so all I really got from it was some supplies. But then, for some dumb reason, I dumped the supply crate. Would maybe come in handy later, but whatever. When I arrived at the island, I managed to run my ship ashore. So I had to go down to fix it and scoop out some water. When I finally set foot on the island, I had no idea how much time I was about to spend here. It was ridiculous how long I spent searching the island for this skeleton crew.
Polly want a conversation.
But when I had about given up and was taking a keg over to a mermaid statue that I saw, they emerged out of the bushes and fought down to the last man. When I finally defeated the captain, I went back to my ship to load the skull and the wood crate that I found, and then took another keg to the mermaid statue. On the way to my next destination, I made a quick stop at a sea post to sell my gems because that whole thing's a grind, and ended up storming a fortress where I put my blunderbuss to work. After taking the fort, I loaded all the treasure onto my ship and got out of there. A bit later I ran into a megalodon, but it ended up swimming away for some reason. So I moved on, but quickly found myself facing off against a skeleton sloop. After some bad maneuvers and questionable cannon shot placement, I finally sunk my foe and gathered up all the booty. After that, I pulled up to the fort we saw a minute ago, and well, rinse and repeat. After gathering the loot, I set sail for the nearest outpost. Somebody was already there, so I had to go and find another one. When I arrived, I docked the ship and began the long process of selling all my treasure. In total, I made about 85,000 gold, so So I was pretty happy with that. At this point I was done for the day, so I decided to give my ship a proper send-off. I caught her on fire and let her sail her last voyage into the horizon. So that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes this voyage. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you find this video worthy, and I will catch you next time in the Sea of Thieves.